Good day, everyone. I'm Mr. Lawrence Iberuin, and I'll be presenting my paper entitled Influencing Factors and Current Approaches to Academic Dishonesty in the Philippines During COVID-19 Pandemic, an overview. As we all know, COVID-19 pandemic created a situation that adversely affected students' learning motivation and their environment for the past 2 school years. Educational institutions in the country transitioned and retained both online learning and modular learning setup for the past 2 school years. In both setups, students were faced with numerous concerns. However, for today, we'll focus on another concern, to which, as the pandemic school years forced students to attend classes online, finish their modules, and study at home, was the proliferation of academic dishonesty. Briefly, academic dishonesty is an act of fraud that violates the ethics of academic honesty in schools and will damage public trust in educational institutions. This primarily consists of cheating during examinations, plagiarism in papers, fabrication of information, and facilitation of similar acts to assist other students. Based on existing literature in the Philippines, these are the actual behavior in performing academic dishonesty, which includes cheating in examinations by studying all the exams with similar answers or similar items rather, students sharing of answers primarily online, deliberately copying other students' answers, and searching answers via the internet. Also, we have project collaboration in finishing individual tasks without the teacher's permission, availability of answers for some online activities via YouTube, copy of answers from answer keys in some distributed modules, specifically in the public schools, academic servicing, to which was described as availing of academic services from other individuals, some of which are teachers who wanted to earn extra income by accomplishing essays, writing essays, accomplishing or finishing modules, and writing research or thesis for students. There's also the Facebook community page entitled Online Kopyahan or Online Tulungan. Later on, I'll show an image about this specific Facebook page, which peaked around 2020 to early 2021. So for this paper, review paper, the main goal is to present current information about academic dishonesty in the Philippines during the pandemic by identifying the influencing factors or factors that influence students to commit academic dishonesty and application of current approaches to academic dishonesty. Narrative literature review of journal articles and news or investigative reports were utilized, to which the primary criteria for selection is their focus on academic dishonesty in the Philippines during COVID-19 pandemic, specifically those published from 2020 to 2022. So following the goal of narrative literature review is to synthesize existing literature of a specific topic to provide readers a comprehensive background of the topic in focus. Following Levi and Ellis' proposed model, I've utilized a three-step approach. First, literature search and screening, to which 14 journal articles and 6 news or investigative reports were screened via Google Search and Google Scholar. Data extraction and analysis following the objectives previously mentioned and the writing of literature review. Data analysis showed 2 general influencing factors following the framework adapted by Cardina and colleagues. The first general influencing factor is internal, to which the causes are within the individual. This includes laziness and procrastination. Students were too lazy to accomplish tasks as they were busy playing with their friends, with social media, and are disinterested with their lessons, hence resorting to academic dishonesty. There's also this lack of proper time management, a well-documented situation among students across various levels based from a variety of sources. There's also the fear of failure, which always at the back of the mind of students. They fear the possibility of failing a subject or their course because they don't want to see how their parents will react to such situation or dilemma. In addition, students show a poor learning capability, to which it has become a self-defeating mindset that entailed, according to Aguilar's 2021 study, students to acquire academic servicing. There's also the notion of motivation, to which one's motivation is inversely correlated with academic dishonesty, which meant that if students are less motivated to study, they are more likely to commit academic dishonesty. The state of mental health also affects the students, to which when students feel stressed and worry over the expectations set around them, specifically by their parents, they are likely to cheat on quizzes, tests, and even assignments just to accomplish their tasks. There's also three, while not explicitly stated in literatures that I was able to screen, data analysis show that they are important in understanding external influencing factors as well as the current approaches to be discussed in the succeeding sections. This includes self-attitude, referring to how students feel, according to Cardina and colleagues, about academic dishonesty. So if they positively feel or neutral about academic dishonesty, they are likely to commit such. The capability, referring to students' ability to act on academic dishonesty. So because students are capable of using their classmates or availing academic servicing, they are likely to commit academic dishonesty. Then lastly, intention, to which what motivates a student to commit academic dishonesty, to which the primary cause is the little to no punishment due to the leniency of school policies being implemented for the past 2 school years. In terms of external influencing factors, these are factors that are external to the student. First is peer involvement. So the idea that everyone commits some form of academic dishonesty influences a student to behave in the same manner. How their peers are involved or how they are pressured to commit academic dishonesty to get by. There's also the overwhelming academic workload. So excessive number of requirements to be completed within a certain period, which was one of the primary reasons why students created the Facebook community page Online Tulungan or Kopyahan in the first place, according to the report of Perez 2021. Revilla and Libre also cited that when a subject or course is difficult, students are likely to commit, especially in the math and sciences, students are likely to commit academic dishonesty. The limited assistance of teachers also was seen as a factor, specifically in terms of teachers being unresponsive to academic concerns of students in terms of their lessons and comprehending the topics at hand. There's also the leniency, to which includes how teachers have this permissive personality and the overall academic leniency in implementing policies and code of conduct for the past 2 school years. We also have parental expectations, how the parents expect their sons, daughters to accomplish the courses, to pass their subjects, and which puts pressure to the student, and the use of digital technology, primarily the internet, which provides or enables students the opportunity to commit academic dishonesty. So this is an image of the online Kopyahan, which at its peak had more than 600,000 members sharing their answers to assist their classmates in completing their modules. In terms of current approaches, which were primarily adopted from Di Pietro's 2010 study, the first approach to academic dishonesty that is applicable in the Philippine setting, based from existing literature, is deterrence theory, which describes if the students are made aware that the academic consequences for committing academic dishonesty was little to non-existent, then they are likely to commit. Primarily because there's leniency in terms of the teachers and on implementing school policies, as well as the students' low regard of school policies for the past 2 school years, according to San Jose 2021. There's also the rational choice, a cost-benefit analysis, to which, because students, the results are leaning towards the importance of favorable outcomes rather than possible punishment. So because they are pressured to get good grades due to parental expectations, the cost of doing academic dishonesty, or the benefit rather of doing academic dishonesty, is greater than the cost. And in some cases, there's little to no punishment, so there's no cost at all in committing academic dishonesty. There's also the neutralization, so neutralizing, to which students provide reasons or excuses to justify why they commit academic dishonesty and became morally neutral on said deviant behavior. So because there's peer pressure or involvement, because others are doing academic dishonesty, performing academic dishonesty, then they think that serves as an excuse, a reason to justify the act, as well as the overwhelming workload, because there's too much excessive tasks to do that justifies committing academic dishonesty. There's also the difficulty of assessments or the course itself, which is viewed as a way to redirect the blame. Then also the value designated to helping their peers. So mas matimbang yung pagtulong nila sa kaibigan nila, sa barkada nila na makapasa, rather than the consequences of committing academic dishonesty. Also, there's this planned theory of behavior, which resulted based on students' intention to commit such acts driven by the opportunities present in each situation. So the behavior committing academic dishonesty was planned because there are opportunities present to commit such, because there's limited to no supervision of teachers. They are likely to commit academic dishonesty, especially they're in the confines of their homes when completing their task or even taking their examinations. The use of digital technology and the lack of oversight to students' behavior, which led to the creation of the said previously mentioned Facebook page, as well as the leniency on school policies and even the nature of online and modular setup, completing their tasks at home, which presents all of this present an opportunity for them to commit academic dishonesty. Also, academic dishonesty was seen as ignorance or confusion on teachers' expectations. So this was primarily brought about by unclear or unarticulated expectations in accomplishing a task, or in the policies being implemented, or the university's code of conduct among the teachers and their students. So there's no clear instructions or clear clarity on the punishments for doing academic dishonesty. As such, they are likely to commit, because in terms of doing tasks, they were not told that peer collaborations in accomplishing individual tasks is punishable. They are likely to do it, as well as teachers' lack of strict instructions and a poor student-teacher communication are the likely reasons for academic dishonesty under this approach. We also have academic dishonesty as a learned behavior. So if the school or university tolerates any form of academic dishonesty, leaning towards allowing such culture, then such acts are likely to proliferate among its students' population. While there's no data from current researches, however, there's still the insights from pre-pandemic literature stating the idea of normalization of academic dishonesty amongst educational institutions in the Philippines. Hence, this was included, as well as the possible role of social media in normalizing academic dishonesty, primarily to creation of Facebook groups and other unknown channels to proliferate or utilize to proliferate such acts. And lastly, academic dishonesty was seen as coping strategy in a stressful environment, to which how academic dishonesty was observed as a coping strategy. So because the students at their homes have an unconducive learning environment, a poor learning space, being pressured to get good grades, and having academic-induced stress, they commit academic dishonesty to cope with these challenges that they are experiencing in order to pass their course or their subject during a very stressful period in their lives. As such, to conclude my presentation, This review paper highlighted the results presented by several studies on academic dishonesty, as well as news reports in the Philippines during the pandemic. As we venture in a blended learning modality for both basic education and tertiary level, the exploits of students explained here remain an important concern within the educational sphere. And even as we go back to the traditional setup, there remain the possibilities of such acts being committed, especially in the online space. Results of this study can serve as a reference point for researchers in further investigating the extent of academic dishonesty in the country. And lastly, future studies can investigate the validity of the revealed data, especially the influencing factors described here, applied across various levels of education and both blended modular and blended online learning setups as my primary recommendation. So that's all. Thank you very much.